Lee Jones here from Hotspawn, and I'm joined by Boaster after Fnatic's first official game in 2026. Unfortunately, a loss to BBL today. Maybe just to start with, what's your kind of immediate reflections on it? Because it looked like it started really well, like the opening to map one, and kind of just crumbled a bit.
Yeah, I think the comms were really good on that defense side. We're looking juicy. The 3 rounds that we lost, I actually think we shouldn't have lost. I'm not really sure what happened, but that's how it goes with shooting in Valorant itself. And then what else do I think? Yeah, and then it kept to attack side. We lost the pistol, which is fine. But the bonus round was like really brutal for us because it allows them to snowball into an AWP economy. And on that map, the AWP is really oppressive. And then it's also hard to just kind of like want to default a Cypher camera, but the AWP is always there. I think our comp kind of lacks in tools of dealing with that. And so, yeah, it just snowballed and we weren't able to get rounds until right at the end when we were like changing our strats and stuff. But honestly, the Breeze, I was expecting to win, but it's a map that hasn't looked too saucy for us since starting it, and I thought we might be able to like just bypass it, but I think we just need more reps on it and more footage and more ideas and more systems in place.
Yeah. How have you found the changes to Breeze in general?
Changes to Breeze in general, I think kind of boring. Truthfully, I think like removing the tube just makes it such a kind of like just yeah, simple map. And I think it was quite fun when you had like the tube options. It was hard for defense, but now for defense it's just so easy. There's 3 chokes. Good luck trying to get out of them, kind of thing. So yeah.
On a bright note, I wondered what was your reaction to Alfier's mustache, because that was looking absolutely crisp. It looks so sick.
He does have one of the crispiest mustaches in the league. Yeah, well, he had a full beard, and then he just came into the office one day and just did the classic. I'm shaving my beard, and I just have a mustache. I mean, fair play to the lad. He can grow one. I'm 30 years old, and I still can't even. I get a little bit of bum fluff on my chin. So, yeah, I'd say he's looking juicy.
Yeah. Um, just other changes as well. The 1v1 skirmish thing coming in. What were
Mm.
your thoughts on that? Is that are you gonna have a go?
Potentially, I've heard that is right now the delay is like you'll go to the skirmish, but it'll take like 25 minutes, which is like a lot of time consumption for an IGL for
Mhm.
preparation and stuff. So I'd say I probably wouldn't go until they kind of sort out the system and make it a lot more swifter process. Because in my head, it should just be like you go in, you do it, you go out, you know?
Right. Yeah,
Mm.
because I saw Powell did it for Vitality, and he was saying sort of like let the players focus and that. But if you're saying about eating that much time, I guess for a coach it's probably not ideal either. So yeah, what do you reckon is like the best scenario at the moment?
I'm not sure. We just send whoever wants to go and is down to just be chilling. I mean, I don't think I'll go. Mainly because it would be fun, but I also can't really be bothered yet. Not until it's on stream. When it's on stream, then I can do it. But until then, I'll let someone else do it, either coach or one of the boys who wants to.
Fair enough. I wanted to talk through the off season a bit. It probably feels like an age ago now, but um, just obviously you know the one change for Fnatic, but obviously quite a big one with Chronicle. You know, one of these huge players leaving. Just what are your thoughts? Just maybe talk me through your opinion on that change in general. Obviously, it's I guess like a big loss to lose someone like that, but at the same time, Durka last year looked like a similar thing, and then Kayak's been an absolute menace. So yeah, just what was your take on the off season?
I'd just say the off season is all about I'm thinking. Yeah, I'd say like obviously losing Kron was a big deal for us, but we got the replacement in Veqaj, and it's like a kind of like a work in progress, and I think he's doing pretty well, you know. And every time he's learning, he's got big boots to fill. He's also got a big role to fill, and he's doing his a pretty good job at it. I just think we just needed more time. You know, we're a team that when we were in off season, we were going to these like off season events. I had a medical condition. I'd like bronchitis, so I couldn't go to one of the events. And I think sometimes we just need to do less, in my opinion, and just have more prep time because I always feel rushed at the start of kickoff. Because we normally start in like December, but I think the December and then a break for Christmas and then starting in January, I always just feel like I don't have enough time. Like this past 2 weeks was like every day was like a lot of work to try and fix lots and lots and lots of issues within the team. And when you're going to these events, yeah, you're getting stage reps, but you're not, it's not the same intensity as like playing a game when the season matters. Like everyone really cares a lot more about like season and like qualifying for VCT Masters. And when you're playing these off-season events, people just play it quite casually and quite for fun. So yeah, I think we just need a bit more time.
What are you thinking on in terms of Santiago? Is it a bit nicer then that there's the triple limb now, and you've got like a bit more, you've got a bit more opportunity really to kind of gradually work your way into kickoff a little bit?
I'd say so. I think we might be one of those teams that actually needs a triple limb, and I honestly don't care how we qualify to Santiago. The only goal is to qualify to Santiago. So if we don't end up qualifying, it's a bit embarrassing. But also it's kind of, well, hopefully it's a wake up call kind of thing. And we need to get good again. And it's, yeah, that honestly it's like the years just go repeat itself. The season starts, I'm like, oh, here we go again. And it's like the same kind of thing where every team is kind of like they start here and they like go down or a little bit up here. But us, for some reason, we always start as our lowest level and are so slowly scaling. But I wish our lowest level was a bit higher, so then we could get to these other events, well, the first events of the year. I need to keep my track record.
True. Well, in EMEA, who are you looking at as the other top teams? Because I guess like Vitality seems the obvious one, but sort of seemed like that at the start of last year, especially when they won kickoff, and then it kind of crumbled a bit. So, what are you making of changes elsewhere?
I think it really depends on who's in like hot form. I think the BBL kids, they got so much passion, and yeah, they were so aggressive, which is like almost like a Paper X style, which EMEA is not really used to. So it was quite fun to see. I do think eventually there's a potential that they will potentially drop off. It really depends on how their atmosphere or mood goes. But when it comes to other teams, I think like General Mates always seemed quite good in practice. I think the Na'Vi has some heavy hitters. I think teams that have like these consistent heavy hitters are going to be a bit scary. And I think obviously Vitality can do it. We'll see when they get fully tested by Liquid. Heretics seem to not be in the same state as they were before from our first game. So I'd say right now it's looking for me Mates, Vitality, BBL looked alright, and there's probably another team, but I've forgotten.
Fair enough.
Oh, Vitality. Oh, I said Vitality. Oh, yeah.
Well, just on the season as a whole, sort of looking ahead, what for you would be a successful season this year? Because I guess like from the outside, losing Cron, the expectations from an outside perspective look like they would have gone down a bit. Certainly not. I imagine people wouldn't be thinking that going to 2 finals again is a guarantee. But at the same time, last year again losing Durkar, people could have thought the same thing, and then you guys had a great year. So, just what would be a successful season for you?
I think I always so whenever I think about like where our goal is to win a Masters event this year, it always ends up like backfiring. So since that 2024 year, the gas leak year, and 2025 felt a lot better. I think the way I'll go into 2026 is the goal is just to qualify for events again and go from there and just keep scaling and like start believing and stuff. But I don't think at our current level I said to the boys, like, we don't need to be amazing now. We just need to be getting better, and we need to be good enough just to qualify. And then we have a lot of time. Like there's a lot of between each games, there's like a couple of days, and those days are really helpful for an IGL like me and the boys to really refine their skills. So I'd say it's kind of something like that.
Fair enough. Maybe one more to end on then. It's probably a bit out of date now, but I didn't have a chance.
Beans. No,
Not
joking.
quite, not quite. You're on the right track. But obviously, I wouldn't have had a chance to speak to you over Christmas. But what's your typical Christmas dinner?
Oh, I didn't actually end up going home for Christmas because I had the bronchitis thing. So I stayed in Berlin with my partner. And but my typical that Christmas dinner, we went to a friend's house, and obviously I'm a pescatarian, and he ended up just putting some vegan chicken nuggets for me, and that's what I had for Christmas dinner. I was like, what the hell? But yeah, so my ideal one would be like I love mashed potato. I love mashed potato. I love
Instead of
even
roast potatoes.
Yeah, I love mashed potato more, but roast potato is fine. But I like them when they're small
Hmm.
and a bit crunchy, but still fluffy. So it's a bit weird. Gravy I love. Broccoli, carrots I like them. Parsnips are okay. The stuffings I used to like when I was
Yeah, the
younger.
stuffing balls.
Yeah, the stuffing balls. Um, yeah, and then obviously I just have the whatever's available for me to eat that isn't meat now. So
Fair enough.
yeah, it's normally quite roast dinners are normally quite nice. Christmas dinners are normally quite nice.
Definitely. Would you have Yorkshire puddings? That's not like traditional for most people at Christmas at least, but I can't do
I've
without
never
'em.
liked Yorkshire puddings as a kid.
Seriously?
Yeah, and I don't really like them
Oh,
still now. I don't like when they get all soggy with the gravy.
that's true. I had the
Uh,
problem. I moved out of the UK and then I can't buy like the frozen ones anymore, so I've got to actually like
oh
cook
my god.
and make
Where
them
do you live?
in Spain. So
Oh yeah,
you got to
no
get
Yorkshire puddings
you got to
there.
get to stage 2 playoffs, and
Oh, is that? Oh
I'll go
yeah,
and
of
see you
course,
there.
that's where it is. All right, you can do a live interview.
Yeah,
I
another one.
think. Yeah.
There we go. It's a deal. I'll see you there.
All right, thank you.
But
See you too.
hopefully I'll chat to you before then anyway. But yeah, thanks for your time, Boaster, as always, and
No
good
worries.
luck in the rest of kickoff.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
You too.